Coming up next, Luis Rubalcava will take on Josh Navarro. Josh is his nickname. I think I'm going to stick with Josh.
Josh works.
Josaphat Navarro. That's coming up next at 126 pounds. Again, look at the record here of El Diamante, Dynamite, and Rubalcava has been just that, a perfect 8-0 thus far, Christian.
Yeah, coming into your career 8-0, and I mean, no better way to start. And at 23 years of age, he has an incredibly bright future. Tonight here in the second fight of the night, we get to watch him do his thing, and I think Josh has got his hands full tonight, but it'd be interesting to see if the young featherweight can keep off the veteran fighter at 1-3-1, 33 years old. Josh is he's a serious fighter, but tonight, going up against Luis, undefeated, it's going to be tough work.
Navarro out of the Philippines, now out of Laguna Hills, California, gonna try and put the first blemish, gonna try and catch lightning in a bottle and put the first blemish on the record of Rubalcava. Out of Rubalcava's 8 wins, 3 of them coming by way of knockout, so he can turn out your lights as well. Got about a 38% finish rate out of his victories. That and so much more coming your way at DMG Boxing.
What a night tonight, Todd, here. Pomona, California, one of the most beautiful days, March days you can hope for. It was sunny. I was in the jacuzzi earlier hanging out. And here we are tonight, ringside, best seats in the house for some Pomona fights.
Gotta love it. I mean, again, in a building that has so much history, so many great bands have played here. I think we're gonna see the best drummers that have ever played at the Fox Theater. Some serious percussion here is coming up next. Luis Rubalcava, Josh Navarro, when it will be time to fight on. That first fight ended so quickly. I don't even know if Navarro and Rubalcava were ready to come out. I mean, I think everybody had to scramble a little bit.
I'm peeking over there right now. They're starting the stage. I think we're just about ready, but you're right. That fight was so quick. Everyone's kind of getting into places at the last second here. Good for Brandon Grant. What a fight tonight to go 2-0 for the young fighter.
Yeah, looked fantastic doing it as well. Gets the first finish of his career. That one's got to feel good. Not if you're Carrillo, of course.
No, of course not.
But back to the drawing board for Carrillo. And Carrillo, for his debut against a 1-0 fighter, he wasn't gun shy. Carrillo came out firing. You got to give him credit for that.
No, he did. He was mixing it up. He was attacking. He was. I really liked his head movement, his ability to try to get out of the way. But it was really the precision of Grant to just put punches on target so quickly and so furiously. Put Carrillo down. Took that knee. There was no getting up from there.
Simply got outgunned. That's the great. We got a heavyweight fighter later that's got some pro wrestling experience. As the late great Roddy Piper would say, don't throw rocks at a man with a machine gun.
That's right. And for those of you joining us around the world on BXNG and enjoying these fights from lovely Pomona, California, we want to thank you. We want to invite you to engage with us on X and social media. Follow us on Instagram, DMG Universe, and here we go, next fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the next attraction of the evening. 4 rounds of boxing in the featherweight division. Introducing first, he'll be fighting out of the blue corner from Laguna Hills, California, Josaphat Big Baby Navarro.
No crying for Big Baby. He's been in there with some tough competition. Comes in with a record of 1-3-1. His victory was a decision. 3 consecutive losses, but to the likes of opponents Fidencio Hernandez, who's now 3-0, and also to Angel Carrillo, who's now 4-0-1. So the record not necessarily indicative of his skills, Christian, as he's been in there with some tough competition.
Well, that just speaks to his toughness. I mean, for Josh Navarro, he comes in, he loses a few fights, and he's still in here fighting. And yeah, you're right, Todd. The guys that he fought, you know, there's some serious contenders, serious business here in the ring. And for him to come in and say, yes, I will fight an 8-0 fighter, that's impressive to me in and of itself.
Speaking of, let's meet his opponent.
And his opponent, he'll be fighting out of the red corner from Garden Grove, California, Luis Diamante Rubalcava.
Great reception for Rubalcava, and Christian, at shows like these, you see some great prospects. You might see future world champions, and Luis Rubalcava looks like he could be on the fast track if he can keep things rolling. A perfect 8-0, 3 of those wins coming by knockout. Get this, he had a 130 record as an amateur, so banked a ton of experience before making the jump, and he's been perfect ever since.
Yeah, you know, finishing 40% or so of your fights with knockouts is impressive as it is, but yeah, he's fought a few really good guys, and he still comes out unscathed, 8-0.
Yep, let's set the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the next attraction of the evening. 4 rounds of boxing in the featherweight division. Brought to you by DMG Boxing and House of Pain Promotions. At ringside, your 3 judges scoring this bout will be Sergio Caiz, Pam Hayashida, and Zachary Young. And in the ring, the man laying the law when the bell sounds, referee Ray Corona. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he's wearing the yellow and white trim trunks. He went in officially at 124 3/4 pounds. He is a veteran of 4 professional fights, fighting out of Laguna Hills, California, presenting Josaphat Big Baby Navarro. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner, he's wearing the blue, trimmed with white. He went in officially at 124 1/2 pounds. His professional record, 8 victories, no defeats, 3 of his victories coming by way of KO. Fighting out of Garden Grove, California, presenting the undefeated Luis Diamante Rubalcava. Once again, referee in charge, Ray Corona, for instructions.
Great to see the OG Ray Corona
right
in there.
This is a little high, but it's still nothing below this right here, right? You want to touch gloves, do it now. God bless.
Talk about a serious referee, Ray Corona, been doing it around Los Angeles and California for many years. Well-respected referee, going to take a close look at the action tonight.
No doubt about it, rich history here in the Southern California area. Navarro in the gold out of the blue corner, taking on the undefeated Luis Rubalcava. Diamante has been just that. 3 of his wins by knockout. This guy's been a 2-time California state champ, 2-time Silver Gloves champion. He's really done it all, and a great start to his professional career as well. No surprise there.
Yeah, he's using the jab, but then following it up with some nice combos is Luis, as he's keeping his hands up, keeping it tight.
Navarro does have 1 victory. It happened in his home of the Philippines, and he's been fighting in the States recently. And for Rubalcava, 3 of his fights down in Mexico, 5 in the U.S. You know, you get a lot of guys that bank wins in their early fights in Mexico. He's evened it out nicely early as Rubalcava. As Navarro starts to go to work, circling out, though, is Rubalcava, who might pose a problem with that southpaw stance here, partner. Nice 1-2 there by Navarro.
I like this from Navarro. Navarro trying to shorten the distance, trying to get inside, fight from within a phone booth, as you said earlier, and it's really going to need to be his strategy. He has a bit of an unorthodox stance, wide base, and you can see the way he stands there with his hands up above his head, but has his shoulders open, maybe more so than you'd see from Luis.
Yeah, he tried to throw that big overhand left a minute ago. Didn't get through the defense of Rubalcava. Blitzes in with the jab, and certainly not backing down is Navarro thus far, trying to be the aggressor, Christian. But I'll tell you, Rubalcava, cool, calm, and collected as you digest what's going on here.
Yeah, it's the poise of Rubalcava that's so impressive, his ability to just stand in there. And, you know, you might look at a fighter who's hasn't had as much success as you have in their short careers and not take him as seriously, but it's clear to me that Luis taking this fight very seriously, very calculated, as he's looking to set up his next attack.
Yeah, staring daggers through Navarro there, and Rubalcava really effective with that lead jab, but also with the lead hook. We saw it a minute or two ago. And kind of fencing-like body shot there, trying to get inside as Navarro ate a big shot as he came in there, Christian, but ate it well.
Yeah, many fighters will Many fighters will counter punch after their opponent throws, and it seems as if Luis Rubalcava was trying to cut his opponent off during his attacks with his counter.
Putting some punches. Navarro putting punches together here. And if Rubalcava didn't know he was in for a fight against the 1-3-1 Navarro, he knows now. Down goes Rubalcava, my goodness. We'll see what Rubalcava's made of here, Christian.
A huge left hand drops Rubalcava, and this entire sold-out crowd at the Fox Theater is in shock.
Wow, the first round comes to a close, and with some serious fireworks. I don't think a lot of people saw that coming. As Navarro, ultra aggressive in that first round, and drops the 8-0 Luis Rubalcava. Your thoughts?
Interesting to think about it. I mean,
Rubalcava didn't know he was in for a fight against the 1-3-1
Navarro, and then dropped an overhand left.
Rubalcava, my goodness!
I think he saw that punch coming. It was outside of his periphery, and it dropped him. Boy, oh boy. And Todd, I would have said, you know, Luis had that round.
If Rubalcava didn't know he was in for a fight against the 1-3-1 Navarro, we don't know. With the knockdown, certainly. Rubalcava, my goodness! But certainly,
turn of events, Todd.
Yeah, I mean, just stealing the round for sure was Josh Navarro there. Big baby. He might be all grown up in this fight, Christian. My goodness, and we're going to see here, round 2 of 4 scheduled. We'll see if Rubalcava has been able to clear the cobwebs, because he ate that big left, dropped him, and lucky for him, it came right at the end of the round.
You're starting to see the aggression here from Navarro. I think he's got that confidence, having landed that overhand left, dropping Luis, and now Navarro coming in deep, coming in hot. Navarro throwing combinations from every angle.
Navarro out of the Philippines, which has obviously turned out some great fighters, such as the Pac-Man over the years. And Navarro saw this, you could tell, as a huge opportunity. The official there, Corona, checking in with Rubalcava. Some big shots being thrown by both. Nice shots now, Rubalcava. The ebb and flow like the Pacific Ocean here on the West Coast, partner.
Rubalcava showing his speed in counter, showing his vision, his ability to throw punches while being attacked. You see it there again. Every single time Navarro pulls the trigger, Rubalcava's right there to try to answer before the punch lands.
I think Rubalcava, as Navarro again gets inside, he's got to do just that, Christian. He's got to find a way to fight at range and establish the jab. But man, oh man, the output, punches and bunches by Navarro going to work.
Yeah, you start to worry for Navarro about the amount of activity that he's putting into this second round. It's worked out for him so far, but if Rubalcava was able to survive, my goodness, if he's able to survive it, you would think that Navarro would be more tired going into the later rounds.
Navarro starts to circle off and counter punch here, and you're right. Utilizing a lot of his gas tank is Navarro, but who could blame him after getting that knockdown? Ate a big shot coming in, but look at that, just keeps moving forward. Incredible.
Yeah, he dropped that left hand just momentarily. Luis saw it, took the opportunity. He has been, certainly the better counter puncher in this fight, and he was able to land big there.
Cornered here. Navarro, though, clocked him again. Big straight, a 1-2 combination to a cornered Rubalcava. Man, Navarro is throwing just for broke here, partner. He's throwing with reckless abandon.
He really is. He's one of those fighters, looks like he has nothing to lose. He's trying to get a win on the left side of his record there. And it's very impressive to see Navarro be able to break down Luis's counter punches and put some big bombs on him.
Well, did I tell you that Navarro's record not indicative? He's been in there with undefeated opponents before. No different here, but might find a way to win if he can keep this up. But I like the composure of Rubalcava, but he's got to do something to try and steal this round here. Getting picked apart in the final seconds. And I'll tell you, man, Navarro has got a fire burning in his belly.
Yeah, you could certainly see it.
How do you see it after 2?
Well, I mean, to me, it's actually going to be a 2-0, and with that knockdown there, it should be about 20-18. Look at that, 2017 rather.
Why, there was nowhere to go there in the corner for Rubalcava. He had some nice moments in the round, though, Christian. Was able to circle, able to counterpunch, but you can't argue that, I mean, Navarro certainly did the most damage.
Yeah, he certainly did, and wish we had a little ear on the corner there to hear exactly the advice that Rubalcava is getting right now. He's down 2-0, and you got to think that he's got to come out and fight differently in this third round, perhaps be more aggressive, but he's really got to watch out for those haymakers and use that counterpunching while Navarro is attacking and try to stop his attack, try to interrupt the onslaught from Navarro.
Halfway home in this 4-rounder, and boy, oh boy, has it been exciting. And we'll see if Rubalcava can get some momentum going, working off the jab again, and that's going to be his best asset. But he's, you know, he can't just throw that jab and not follow it up. He's got to start putting some punches together. But this is certainly the range that favors Rubalcava. But, man, expect some fireworks from Navarro if he gets the opening.
Nice right hand there by Rubalcava. Backing up now a little more, using that length, but man, Navarro's so quick, so nimble to be able to get in there and penetrate the defense in the distance. And now Navarro attacking again. Rubalcava up against the ropes. Navarro eats a huge left hand, Todd.
Referee taking a good look at this. Rubalcava getting teed off on, and I think being, warned for the hold there inside. But man, oh man, when he blitzes in, does Navarro have some serious thunder? He's got some great hand speed too.
There's no fear at all. Cero Miedo from Navarro as he eats a left there, but he's still coming forward. And you're starting to see some great counterpunching be successful here from Luis Rubalcava. Yeah. Again, isolated in the corner, backed in is Rubalcava. He's going to have to somehow fight out, and he does. Repositioning here.
Some nice movement by Rubalcava, and he caught him with a nice hook. But again, just the output of punches favors Navarro. And if Rubalcava finds himself losing this round, then he's going to have to put all his eggs into the basket to try and finish. He's going to be in a position, if he loses here, Christian, where he has to finish in the final round.
That's right. Oh, nice shot to the body, and now upstairs, downstairs from Navarro. Man, Navarro looking great tonight. Certainly, you looked at his record, 1-3 with a draw on the side there, and you thought that this would be easy work for Luis Rubalcava, but he's in a fight tonight.
Oh man,
beautiful punch and counter punch.
It was. That was a nice right hook, and now you see the sense of urgency. Now you see the aggression of Rubalcava seeing his opening. Big lead uppercut by Rubalcava, trying. He needs really desperately to win this round. He's got under a minute to work here. See if he can do it.
You can kind of see from Navarro a switching of stances. Sometimes he comes in a bit more orthodox. I mean, certainly he's a southpaw, but putting his hands right up to guard. And other times, widening his shoulders almost in a martial arts stance during these attacks. Very interesting fighter.
Yeah, Navarro, listed as an orthodox fighter. He will change stances. He will literally hit you from all angles. And again, now Rubalcava finds himself in an absolute storm here again from Navarro. Final seconds here in the third of 4 rounds. Round comes to a close. And another round in which Rubalcava had some moments. But by your estimation, did the round once again belong to Josh Navarro?
That was a very difficult round to score. I thought both fighters did well. Both fighters impressed during that round. I mean, you got to get in the judges' heads for a moment as we take a look at the replay here. You know, it was Navarro coming in, but there was answers from Luis Rubalcava. He was able to counter when he needed to, but also ate some punishment during that round.
Yeah, that was a nice exchange there for Rubalcava, who was able to catch him with that big hook and duck out a punishment. But late in the round, Navarro, you know, put something that's going to stick in the mind of the judges if this thing goes the distance.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for both warriors. This is the fourth and final round.
Expect these guys to leave it all inside the squared circle. I don't think it's in his nature, but if you're Navarro, do you let off on that gas pedal a little bit to not take any unnecessary risks? Do you get on the bicycle? I don't think he will.
No, yeah, I think you make a great point that it just isn't in his nature for Navarro, and he continues to press, continues to come forward, and now, yeah, the pace of this fight is exactly what Navarro wants. I think maybe perhaps a clash of heads, or what are we seeing here?
Good beat. Referee Ray Corona calls for the resuming of action here, and eats a nice straight shot there, did Navarro. But again, if you're Rubalcava, you got to bite down on that mouthpiece and pull the pin out of the grenade.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you're starting to see that Navarro smelling blood in the water, knowing if he controls this fourth and final round, it's going to be very difficult for the judges ringside to award the fight against him. And so Navarro continues to press, continues to calculate his attacks, and now blood coming from the mouth of Luis Rubalcava.
Yeah, you can see that Rubalcava's accidental headbutt, says Ray Corona. Clash, meeting of the minds there, and you can see, though, as you touched on, partner, Rubalcava wearing a lot of that damage that's been dished out by Navarro throughout the fight.
Yeah, you hate to see an accidental headbutt, but you know, the veteran referee Ray Corona right on top of it, able to note it, and it doesn't look like either fighter is too worse for wear from that headbutt.
Navarro throwing from way down deep. This guy, he's got piston-like shots in tight, but he will throw. He's a home run slugger when he needs to be.
I mean, it's starting to really stream down the face, and the nose. I think it's coming from the nose and mouth of Luis Rubalcava.
Yeah, mouse under the left eye as well for Rubalcava.
Nice right hand.
Yeah,
beautiful answer. This is what we wanted to see from the beginning. Keeping that distance, using the jab to push his opponent away, and then following up with combinations. He did a good job of it in the first round, but in the second and third, I think he was just stunned from the power of Navarro.
Yeah.
Nice. There it is.
He's got precious time left, though. Rubalcava's got to keep the pedal to the metal here. Probably his best round thus far, and he had some good moments throughout, but it might be too little too late, depending on, oh my goodness, off of the break. I don't know.
And that's why they say, Todd, you got to defend yourself
yes, at all times.
There was no break there. It was simply both fighters voluntarily separating for a moment, and it was a huge knockdown there for Navarro.
That absolutely might have sealed the deal there. And a big knockout late as Rubalcava took his focus off momentarily. And again, we talked about the aggression of Navarro. How about being the opportunist there to score one final knockdown? Incredible. What a performance by Josaphat Navarro as we look back at some of the action here. Now we're going to see it off of the break. Take us through it here.
Yeah, there was that left hand. I mean, there was a break there from the ropes, but both fighters breaking on their own accord. It was not referee Ray Corona who demanded that they would separate. So you got to defend yourself at all times, and a big left hand was able to drop.
So after four, this one will go to the cards. And what looks to be an incredible performance and most likely victory for Josh Navarro. And it's going to be a tough pill to swallow for Luis Rubalcava. But that's why we got judges scoring it at ringside, partner. But this one seems to be all academic.
Yeah, and if you're wondering at home for Christian Cole's unofficial scorecard, I scored the fight 39-35 in favor of Navarro. I did give that third round to Luis Rubalcava. I thought it was close enough that perhaps the judges would have a little bias towards the undefeated fighter, give him that round. But with the 2 knockdowns, I don't think this one was close. Boy, oh boy.
I think that late knockdown was just a little extra salt in the wound for Luis Rubalcava. You could just see the frustration etched all over his face. Like, I can't believe this is happening to me. Came in 8-0. In all likelihood, won't leave that way. Numbers are being tabulated, and Ramblin' Ralph will head back to the middle of the ring, and we'll make it all official.
How exciting for the fans and supporters of Navarro to have him come in here and show out tonight.
Incredible. Let's make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I read the scorecards, a round of applause for both warriors in this matchup. After 4 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Zachary Young scored the contest 39-35, while judges Pam Hayashida and Sergio Kai scored the contest 40-34, all for your winner by unanimous decision. They call him Big Baby, Josaphat Navarro.
Can't say enough about the performance of Josaphat Navarro, taking the O from the previously undefeated Luis Rubalcava, and he did it with just unbridled aggression. As we say in the football world, Christian, this guy's got one hell of a motor on him.